If one day you consider planting a hedge, a large hedge, a wild hedge, or why not trees, fruit trees, and you don't want it to cost you much, the solution is bare root. So, what is a bare root? A bare root is a tree that is presented without soil. It is true that we are used to finding them in garden centers, often in a black pot with the shrub planted inside. Whereas a bare root, well, its roots, as the name suggests, are bare. They are without soil. And this will allow us at a low cost to be able to plant hedges, trees, or orchards. So, what is the benefit of planting a tree or a shrub with bare roots? These are trees that have been planted in open ground, that have thrived in open ground with a nice root system, whereas in containers sometimes the pots or plants become root bound and there can sometimes be a little difficulty with planting afterwards. However, bare roots have a specific time for planting, so we start planting them from November to March when they are in a dormant state, if they are deciduous trees, when there are no leaves on the branches. How to plant a tree or a shrub with bare roots? In principle, as soon as bought, as soon as planted. However, we may not have the opportunity to do it right away. So what I advise you to do is to gauge your shrubs. You make a gauge, which means you dig a small trench and place your trees, your shrubs with soil on top. You can almost water them. And you can leave them from November to March. By the time March arrives, they are in the gauge. We can, why not, leave them until next autumn. But if you plan to plant them, then, starting from this period, you will need to practice the pralinage. A golden rule: when you receive your bare roots, if you choose a variety of types, there are small white labels that are usually indicated by the nursery. However, sometimes these labels can fade or you may lose them. I advise you to label each plant well so that you can recognize them during planting and especially not make any mistakes. You cannot claim a successful planting without using soaking. So what is soaking? It's quite simple. You can find it both commercially, it is sold in buckets, it's a mixture of potting soil and compost with a few small substances. But know that you can also make it yourself and it's very easy. If you have a little compost or potting soil, you will put that in a wheelbarrow, then you can also add a little garden soil. And above all, what is important is to soak it well. You will make a kind of slurry. In the past, cow dung was traditionally used to combine with this soaking. Here, with good compost and well-mixed soil, we will certainly be able to successfully plant bare root trees and shrubs. The savings are quickly realized. Here I have about 60 plants for around €200, which represents approximately 120 square meters if we were to spread these 60 plants out. And if we were to plant them in a line, if we planted them every 1 meter, then I would have 60 meters long, that is to say 60 meters for €200 with these bare root trees and shrubs, regardless of the varieties, since sometimes you will find them at €3, €2 or €4, averaging €3 per shrub. You might say, in this batch of trees and shrubs, we don't see many leaves. That's normal. We are in a winter period, but there aren't many leaves because there is no evergreen foliage, no laurel. There are also no conifers. So we will only use deciduous trees and shrubs each time. And these are ideal trees or shrubs for creating a rewilding.